So I was in the middle school this week, and when I was in the middle school, I was really watching the educators, and the middle school doesn't need as many attention getters. They don't need as many callbacks, which is obvious. Younger kids need a little more redirection. They also need a little more concrete examples, sometimes things to hold on to. When I was in Miss Miles' room, they had the tanagrams, and they had it in their hands. They used the placemats, and then they went to the worksheet and filled it in. They could use the tanagrams if they needed to. They didn't have to. Whereas in the middle school, they didn't have any concrete handheld examples. They had examples written on the whiteboard, examples just on the whiteboard, or questions answered. So, with the younger students, it's really the foundation of mathematics. When I was in the kindergarten classroom, they were learning how to draw the numbers. They were learning how to count. They were learning shapes, what the shapes were, what made them special, how many sides a square had, how many sides a triangle had. And they were really just learning the fundamentals. Whereas in the middle school, they were learning more of like the algebra. They were learning how to find x, how to isolate x, how to do roots and exponents. And in the elementary grades that I didn't observe in, it's still the same for the most part. The higher elementary grades, again, you don't need as many attention getters in the higher elementary grades, but you will need some to redirect their attention. You will still need some concrete handheld examples, but you can also use some abstract examples just written on the whiteboard to get them to visualize what's going on. That concrete stuff should be set in, and if not, then the teacher needs to plan for that. I found that I love the middle school, older elementary school content of mathematics. And to be honest, I think I missed my calling. I wish I saw the signs a lot sooner when I was in high school. But I've always enjoyed math, and I think I really could teach the content. But I've always wanted to be an elementary teacher, and I think with that stubbornness stuck in my head, that's where I've wanted to go. And when people are trying to tell me otherwise, it was really hard to take into consideration of other ideas. But with this grade level of content, the math comes easy to me, and it's a passion of mine. My first few years of college, one of my brothers would send me a picture of his questions, and we would FaceTime and work them out. So he would send me a picture, and I would solve the question, and then when I solved the question, I would tell him that I'm ready to FaceTime, and we would FaceTime. We would set it up, the camera, so he can see my face. We could see each other's face or not see each other's face, and we would go through the problem step by step as how I had it written down. And I loved doing that. I loved when he asked me for help, and I was able to actually help him instead of being like, oh, well, you might have to ask your teacher on that one. But I had my desk covered in so many sticky notes with middle school math problems. I ignored all the signs telling me to potentially get a middle school math option. And now I have like zero money to do so. So if somebody wants to pay for that, they're more than welcome. All right. That's week 3.